What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a few days since I've been on. I didn't do a post-game video for the loss to Minnesota, but here I am back again. It's been a busy week. It was my wife's birthday last night even, so we're going to go through a few things here today, guys. So, of course, starting with the review of the Habs and Jets game last night, the play of Nick Suzuki through the first 11 games. Very, very impressive. So impressive to the point where him and Caulfield will be getting the Molson Cup tomorrow night before they play Vegas at the Bell Center for the best players in October. The Habs are actively shopping their forward group right now, according to Pierre Lebrun, which of course includes the likes of Evgeny Dadonov. I mean, good luck. I mean, he hasn't put up a single point through any of the games he's played, and now he's on injured reserve. So now I had some images actually for this game, but for whatever reason, my email is just not working properly today. It's just, I don't know, one of those days for technology, I guess. But I guess we can start with Nick Suzuki's goal at the beginning of this game, and just the fact that he drove the net. I mean, it's not something we normally see from Nick. He's more of a sniper, playmaker, and then kind of just gets his opportune chances and uses his speed and skill a lot too. But I mean, in this case, I mean, it was a one-touch pass from Caulfield. He drives the net and scores. He gets knocked into Connor Hellebuck. Therefore, he just kind of looked up at Hellebuck and said, "Hey, you good?" Like, there was no reaction from Hellebuck at all. He was pushed into Hellebuck after the goal. Wasn't trying to, drive into him at all. But just the goal was a beautiful thing. And now the only thing that bothered me after that was Pierre Luc Dubois, future Montreal Canadian. Pierre Luc Dubois. Some fans like that, some don't like that idea of PLD coming to Montreal still in 2024 when he's a free agent. But I didn't really like the defensive coverage on Dubois on the Jets' power play goal to tie the game because he just kind of walked in, right? I mean, David Savard, I felt like could have stepped up to him, at least tried to get a stick in there, but PLD just kind of, getting the puck and just cruising his way in and just sniping it past Sam Montembeault. And frankly, the overtime winner and Dubois' goal were basically the same goal. Less guys on the ice, of course, but what you saw from Nick Suzuki I'm jumping ahead here. What you saw from Nick Suzuki at the very least on Kyle Connor's winning goal was an effort to try to stop the puck, even sliding on the ice, trying to, and it was a dangerous potential Josh George's looking block shot attempt from Nick Suzuki on the Kyle Connor overtime goal. But the puck still went any other way and it didn't matter. But I just felt like, what? I would have liked to see more of an effort from David Savard on the PLD goal. So that would have been nice. After that, of course, and also welcome back to Joel Edmondson, who had I had some stats actually pulled up for you guys, but 4 blocked shots in this game. It was just great to see Joel Edmondson back. 21 minutes played, not not showing like he missed much of a step in that regard in terms of ice time, because we all know that Eddie, being the steady Eddie that he was for so long with the Habs, now taking up some great ice time for the Canadiens. So let's talk about the Blake Wheeler goal, which had the goalie interference challenge from Martin St. Louis. Looking at it again, and I did have images pulled up for you guys to show you why I actually thought that this was the right call, believe it or not, even though I was talking with a couple folks on Twitter, including Stu Cowan from the Gazette, who you guys may watch from Hockey Inside Out. I actually, Ray Ferraro had said earlier this week or later last week that goalie interference isn't a rule, it's an opinion. So it's an opinion from inside the room in Toronto that decides whether a goal is good or not. And it's not a direct, conclusive rule in the rule book. It's more of an opinion-based decision that's made. So I think that's pretty true and pretty accurate based on the fact that we've seen goals count, not understanding fully and not getting a full explanation. And we really didn't get a full explanation. But if you look at the replay, Jonathan Kovacevic clearly checks Blake Wheeler into Sam Montembeault. And it's actually, in my head, I'm like, you know what? That was kind of impressive goal actually from Blake Wheeler. And the reason being, he's still trying to avoid contact with Sam Montembeault as he's kind of falling into him, and he still manages to put the puck in. So in that regard, you could argue, of course, that him falling into Sam Montembeault was interference enough to not allow Sam to even attempt to make a save. But I mean, the puck was already behind him at that point, so there really was no attempt for Sam to be, based on the positioning of where he was on the side of the post there. But he was kind of pinned by Blake Wheeler. But the reason he was pinned is because Jonathan Kovacevic cross-checked Blake Wheeler into Sam Montembeault. So that was where I had some satisfaction with the reason why the goal was allowed, because it was very clear that Jonathan Kovacevic, if it wasn't for that play, if it wasn't for him cross-checking Blake Wheeler into Sam Montembeault, that goal just doesn't happen, period. So that was the conclusion I drew from it, and I was able to, at least for my sake, draw some satisfaction from that. But I mean, take from it what you will. You guys can let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the goal. So from there, I mean, the Habs. I got to confess to you guys, I'm going to tell you the brutal, honest truth. I didn't get to watch this whole game because it was my wife's birthday. But watching everything that I could from it, including an extended highlight package, some feedback on Twitter from folks that were watching the game live. Jonathan Drouin, some folks were saying what had a great effort last night. Be nice to see it every night. Be nice to see a great effort from every player every night. I'm not just pointing out Drouin, but it was pointed out that he was having quite an effort last night. So you guys let me know what you saw from Drouin. Only just over 8 minutes from Slavkovsky. Is he going to go to Laval? We're going to find out very, very soon. He's got about one more game left before they make that decision. I think they're probably going to keep him if they're actually trying to shop forward. That's my opinion. I think they're going to try to keep him in Montreal. That's just my gut feel right now. I could be wrong. I'm more than okay with being wrong. But from here, Kyle Connor gets the overtime winner, and I already kind of discussed the play there. But I mean, when you got Josh Morrissey, Kyle Connor, and Mark Scheifele on your, like, that's a really great trio in overtime. If I'm a Jets fan, I'm really happy with that trio going out there. Now, the other thing too was that oh yeah, there was a great save from Sam Montembeault on Mark Scheifele, and some might argue that Sam Montembeault has been outplaying Jake Allen save percentage wise. He certainly has. So who do you start, right? But Jake Allen is still our starter for now. But what a great save from Sam Montembeault in overtime on Mark Scheifele. So from there, when a great save happens like that, you figure an opportunity is going to go the other way. And Nick Suzuki had a great shorthanded opportunity early in this game, by the way. Two whacks at it. He just couldn't lift it on the second chance on the shorthanded opportunity. Maybe this game would have been different, not gone to overtime for all we know. But it did. And Kyle Connor, there was a big talk about him having a bit of a cold streak. He hasn't scored since the first game of the season. That's a pretty big cold streak after 11 games or so. But Kyle Connor ices it in overtime. So the play of Nick Suzuki through 11 games. Now, I actually want to go through with you guys really quickly a couple of stats here with Nick Suzuki because, well, just to look at his numbers and basically the numbers of a lot of the guys on the roster right now. So we can see through 11 games, Nick Suzuki has 13 points. 6 goals, 7 assists. Cole Caulfield right behind him, 7 goals, 5 assists, good for 12 points in 11 games. And then right behind them is their newest line mate, Kirby Dach, who also scored last night. And I should have mentioned against the Winnipeg Jets. Yes, he did. Kirby Dach getting his second of the season, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points in those 11 games. And then right behind him is Sean Monahan with 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points in 11 games. Josh Anderson, David Savard, believe it or not, 5 assists so far this season. David Savard having himself a good start. And then Christian Dvorak, because of his hat trick on Saturday night against St. Louis, he's what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7th or 8th in scoring here with 3 goals and an assist. So I had to point out the fact that, Nick and Cole are playing so well, so much so that just for October, they're going to both receive the Molson Cup for the players of the month, and deservedly so, right? So I just thought that they've both been as much, if not more. I would say they've played beyond expectations at this point. I mean, I think some people even saying Nick Suzuki could be a 100-point player at some point during his career. It's very possible. I think we all know Cole is going to be a 35-40 goal scorer, hopefully every year, starting with this one, right? We hope he gets 35 at least. I would say 30 plus for sure, and then kind of go from there. 40 would be even better, but we'll take what we can get. So the Habs are actively shopping some forwards, says Pierre Lebrun, including Evgeny Dadonov. Now, he's on injured reserve, so I don't know fully how that works, but he did mention Jonathan Drouin. He did mention Mike Hoffman. So there's too many forwards on this group right now. That's just a fact. And the fact that, some of you guys have even called them dead weight in games because they're not doing a whole lot. And it's kind of true. So you have to think that this hopefully, I think it's going to be closer to trade deadline in terms of one of the bigger names. I don't know if Mike Hoffman's really going to be able to be shopped. He's still got a year left on his deal after this one. Jonathan Drouin, contract's ending. Dadonov's contract is ending. There's been talks with Washington and other teams. Those talks have been confirmed by Pierre Lebrun. So we'll see what comes of it. I don't really know what to expect at this point because I do know that they need to shed some players, and I don't think they want to get rid of Yuri Slavkovsky. I don't think they want to send him down to Laval. That's my final opinion on that one. All right, guys, leave your comments down below on this game, on any of the subjects I talked about today. Love to hear from you. Great to be back on with you guys. As you can see, the hair is gone. You could run a plane off this runway. I know my forehead's huge. I'm fully aware of it. I'm okay with it. I've accepted it after all these years. But thanks for watching, guys. All my best. Deeksy back here. Talk to you guys again real soon. Cheers.